Difference. Boosting is the technique that involves combining weak learners. We focus more on these previously misclassified records. So this means that the next learner is tailored to fix the mistake made by this previous one. So the new sample weight for rightly classified is 0.058 and the new sample weight for wrongly classified here it is 0.34. And kindly just observe, dear friends, we need to use a formula to calculate the sample weight, that is 1 by n. And here the n is number of records, and here we have totally 7 records, and of course the sample weight here it would be 1 by 7. So to calculate the total error, we can take the weight of the error, which is out of 7, 1 is error out of 7. So the total error for this model is 1 by 7. And when on summing up, I am just getting 0.688. And kindly just observe, it is not equal to 1. So we need to find the normalized weight. To find the normalized weight, we can divide all these new sampled weight by the summation of all new sample weights. Happy morning, dear friends. Here's yours, Dr. Rajanta. Welcome to Demystify with Ajay. Dear friends, today we are going to discuss what is boosting and of course the mathematical magic behind AdaBoost, one of the most elegant ensemble learning algorithm in the world of machine learning. Dear friends, let me just see what is boosting. Dear friends, boosting is the technique that involves combining weak learners to form a strong learner. Weak learners, which are models that cannot predict properly, are combined sequentially to form a chain of models. Difference: when an input is provided, it goes from one model to another model until a final output is produced. So the output is the result of all the combined models. And the weak learners, which are called as like M1, M2, M3 till Mn, and they are combined to form a strong learner. Dear friends, let's break down how boosting techniques actually function. Imagine we are working with the data. Okay, so here it is a data set, a collection of training records, each with some features and labels. Now, the core idea behind this boosting is, instead of training all the models at once, we train them sequentially one after another, and we call these models as like weak learners or base learners. Now, what is the first step is, we begin that with equal attention to every samples. So, we take our data set and feed it into the first base learner. Difference: this could be a simple model, for example, maybe a decision tree or a stump or a shallow tree. Once this first learner is trained, we pass all the training samples through to evaluate its prediction. Now here's where it gets interesting. Let's say this model correctly classified most of the records but got a few of them wrong. Maybe sample A, B and C. So these are the exact troublemaker. So the misclassified samples. What happened next? Yes, we pass this troublesome more attention. So when we train the next model, only these models to the next base learner too. We focus more on these previously misclassified records. So this means that the next learner is tailored to fix the mistake made by this previous one. And if the base learner too also makes a few errors, maybe on different records, so those errors are again carried out to the next learner or next model. So the third base learner will now focus even more on those difficult cases. And this process continues learner after learner until we have trained the specified number of base learner. With each step, the model is refining its understanding, zooming in on where it previously went wrong. So that's the fundamental of this boosting. a sequential learning method where each new model tries to correct the error of the previous one. When we enter the world of AdaBoost, things get even smarter. Instead of just focusing on the misclassified data, AdaBoost introduced weights for every training sample. So these weights help guide each learner on where to focus more or less based on the past mistake. And yeah, that's, dear friends, is what we are going to explore next. The mathematical intuition and the step-by-step working of adaptive boosting. Shortly, we specify it as AdaBoost. Yes, dear friends, AdaBoost is an ensemble machine learning algorithm that can be used in wide variety of classification and regression tasks. It's a supervised learning algorithm that is used to classify data by combining multiple weak learners. And example, mainly on decision tree, which is a stronger learner. Now, suppose we have a data set. Okay, so that includes features like F1, F2, F3 and an output. Suppose we have 7 records. Of course, we have 7 records. Okay, so for the first step, our records will get a sample weight. So the step 1, I have to apply a sample weight. And kindly just observe, dear friends, we need to use a formula to calculate the sample weight, that is 1 by n. And here the n is number of records. And here we have totally 7 records. And of course, the sample weight here, it would be 1 by 7. And initially, all the records will be assigned with the same weight. Okay, so in this step, we create our base learner, which we need to create sequentially with the help of a decision tree. So here, kindly just observe, initially, all the records will be assigned the same weight. That is 1 by n. As we have 7 records here, we are just having the sample weight as the same weight. Now, in this step, we create our base learner, which we need to create sequentially with the help of a decision tree. Dear friends, of course, here we are creating a decision tree with depth 1, which we just call it as stump. For that, we have used 3 properties. Of course, it is entropy, information gain, and Gini coefficient. Using these properties, you need to determine which feature to use as the starting point. It is important to note that weak learner is the type of learning being discussed in this context. So the first step in the process is to identify the weak learner and then select one level decision tree, that is the stump, based on information gain and entropy. Dear friends, out of 3 features you selected here, F1, F2, F3. Okay, out of 3 features, which feature has a higher information gain and entropy? So you will use that feature to create decision tree. And here, assume you select the first feature as the starting point. From there, a decision tree will only one level is created and specific records are provided to train model. Now next, we need to calculate total error. Dear friends, to calculate the total error for this model, we need to determine how many errors is made. In this case, it may be only one error. Okay, so here assume the 4th record's output is predicted wrongly from this model. So to calculate the total error, we can take the weight of the error, which is out of 7, 1 is error out of 7. So the total error for this model is 1 by 7. Now we need to calculate the performance of the stump. In AdaBoost performance, of course, we have to calculate alpha t, which is determined by the formula 0.5 into Okay, so here we are just going for our step 3, that is performance of stump, that is alpha t, which is equal to 0.5 or 1 by 2, okay, into log e to the power of 1 minus total error divided by total error. Dear friends, here of course, we just have 0.5 into log e of 1 minus 1 by 7 divided by 1 minus 7, which it just gives, again I just go 0.5 times log e of 6, and here which is equal to 0.896. Now, you should update all the sample weight here. The updated weight is necessary because it helps to improve the accuracy of the correct records. Correct records, of course, should be reduced because these correct records should not go to the next week learner. So to update the weight in the correct record, we need to apply a formula, that is kindly just observe, dear friend. The step 4, kindly just observe, to update a new sample weight, which is equal to weight into e to the power of performance stump. And here weight, of course, we just know 1 into 7, and here e to the power of 0.895. And here we just get the value as like 0.349. And here, kindly just observe, this exact, it is for wrongly classified. And what we have to do for the rightly classified? Yes, here we are just need to include a negative signature here. So that is 1 by 7 into e to the power of minus 0.895, and here which is equivalent to 0.0583. So the new sample weight for rightly classified is 0.058, and the new sample weight for wrongly classified here it is 0.34. Now you can update the new weight like this. Okay, so 0.058 and 0.34, and here it is 0.058. So here I just want to add all these new sample weight, and let me just check what would be the exact weight. So here it is 0.058 and here it is 0.34, and when on summing up I am just getting 0.688, and kindly just observe it is not equal to 1. So we need to find the normalized weight. To find the normalized weight, we can divide all these new sampled weight by the summation of all new sample weights. So how come? So kindly just divide this by here, 0.058 divided by 0.688. 0.058 divided by 0.688, and kindly just make it in all the same, and of course here also 0.068. And once done, I just get the updated value as like this. Now, observe, dear friends, when on just calculating this 0.058 divided by 0.688, I am just getting 0.084, and to the same for the incorrect sample. Here if I just divide it by 0.688, I am just getting 0.494. Now, one decision tree we have already created, and it is called the stump. Now you know what we get from this first one. Yes, then in the sequential model, we combine another model. Now kindly just observe whether this summation is equal to 1 or not. And this is the exact sequential model. We will combine. If it is not again equal to 1, we have to combine another model. And here to create the second specific model, I should provide some specific rows to this model to train. So the second model will train on the given data, rows, and given an output. To pass this specific rows from the first decision tree to the second decision tree, we need to create a bucket using this normalized weight. Dear friends, in this example, we assumed we have 7 rows and we calculated the normalized weight here. So, however, the bucket value are generated according to this normalized weight value in a sequential manner. And kindly just observe these buckets spread over 0 to 1 range. And here when you just pass on towards this weight and calculating the bucket value which is created here, kindly just observe this would be the value, and here 0.084 and 0.084 towards 0.168 and 0.168 towards 0.252, and it just goes on. Here, to determine the number of records that should be assigned to a second decision tree, we need to establish a clear methodology. To achieve this, the second decision tree generates random numbers between 0 to 1. When a random number is generated by the second decision tree, it will attempt to map to a bucket in the first one. So here if we just make it, it would just make an attempt to the first decision tree. And here in this particular example, there is a high probability of that it will match with the incorrect record due to the bucket range which is being high, that is 0.252 to 0.746. And this means that the fourth row which corresponds to the incorrect has the highest chance of being matched with the random number. Dear friends, here in this diagram you can just see all the random number except 2, which will get incorrect row data to the decision tree. Also, when passing from the first decision tree to the second decision tree, there are some probability of passing correct values also. Okay, so yes dear friends, the theory behind AdaBoost is that all decision tree in the model follow a similar sequence, with the record passing from one tree to another. When test data is applied to each decision tree, it will output 1 or 0. Of course, if it is a binary classification, it just throws whether it is an output of 1s or 0. And the final result is obtained by performing the majority vote on the various output. And kindly just observe, dear friends, if it is an regression problem, the average of all the output is calculated to get the overall result. And here we just come to the end. Yes, dear friends, this is all about the first boosting technique, which is the AdaBoost algorithm. Simply specified, yet it learns not just from the data, but from its own failures. And with every misstep, it grows smarter, reweights its focus, and evolves. It's like a student who learns from mistake than from success. So building resilience, accuracy, and intelligence round after round. Thanks for watching this detailed breakdown on Ensemble learning, dear friends, and I hope this gave you a clear understanding on boosting and especially on AdaBoost algorithm. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Demystify with Ajay for more deep dives into machine learning and AI. Until next time, keep exploring and happy learning, dear friends.